Here's our story for today. The title or the name of the story is called Seed, Sprout, Pumpkin, Pie. The title's on the front cover of our story. If I flip it over, this is the back story. What do you see a lot of on the front cover? I see a lot of pumpkins. Let's count how many pumpkins are on the front cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I see 11 pumpkins on the front cover of our story. Have you picked your pumpkin? This little boy picked a pumpkin. So now let's listen about how pumpkins grow. A pumpkin seed is tucked into the sun-warmed earth. Spring rains soften its tough coat. So here are the seeds that are going into the dirt to start to grow. A little bit later, it will look like this. A root reaches for nutrients and water. A sprout reaches out of the ground for light. Soon, jagged leaves rise from the twisty vines, wandering in all directions. So there's the twisty vines, and it's coming back around here, and the leaves that are coming from it. Bees visit golden blossoms, spreading pollen from flower to flower. Here's the big flower, and the bees will come in here to the center. That's where the nectar is. They'll get some of the nectar, and a pumpkin will start to grow, and they'll take the nectar back to their hive and make it into honey. Here and there, tiny green knobs replace wilted flowers. So if we look up here, see, that used to be a flower, that brown thing, that used to be a flower. And here's a flower that's starting to wilt. This one is still big for the bee to come in and get that nectar. If you look close, look really, really close, can you see the yellow dots on the flower leaves down here? Those are little pieces of pollen. That's what the bees collect to make honey. You can see some right there. See that bright yellow? That's the pollen. The knobs change color and slowly swell and get bigger, growing heavier by the day. Cooler nights arrive and vines shrivel. So these big vines are starting to get smaller and going away, just like the flowers get smaller and go away. Left behind are pumpkins, pumpkins, pumpkins. Look at those fields. They're full of pumpkins all the way up here. Do you see all those orange dots? They're all pumpkins. I see a couple white pumpkins in this field as well. Pumpkins are a type of squash. They can be green, red, tan, yellow, white, or even blue. The pumpkins we know best are bright orange. Look at those bright orange pumpkins. At my house, I have some orange pumpkins, some yellow pumpkins, and one white pumpkin that grew. Did you grow pumpkins at your house? They are tall pumpkins and they're short pumpkins, smooth or bumpy pumpkins. Look, This one is smooth. This one is bumpy. This one is tall, and this one is short. Wee ones only a few inches wide, so little teeny tiny ones. Or giants you can sit inside. These people are inside of pumpkins. They made boats out of the pumpkins. Can you see that? They carved inside of the pumpkin and made it into a boat. They're on the water. How cool is that? I've never had one that big. Thump, thump, thump. A pumpkin sounds hollow, but inside is stringy, wet pulp and oodles of slippery white seeds. Seeds might be saved to grow next year's pumpkins or dried for a crunchy snack. When you dry them, this is the outside of the shell, the white part, and you eat the greenish gray part that's on the inside. Pumpkin pulp smells sharp and tangy, but can be made into delicious breads, desserts, and soups. Sugar pumpkins go into the spicy pies we bring to our Thanksgiving tables. Oh, I love a good pumpkin pie. That looks delicious. The end. Unless the pumpkin was there for, was there something else pumpkins might be used for? What else could pumpkins be used for other than pies and bread and boats? Oh yes, jack-o'-lanterns. Look at all those jack-o'-lanterns. Will you give yours a funny face or a creepy one to send shivers up your back? Will it be the head of a straw-filled scarecrow? Or will jack-o'-lanterns decorate your kitchen table along with striped gourds and sunset-colored leaves? Or will it set your porch aglow on spooky Halloween night, lighting the way for a curious cat? Unused pumpkins are fed to farm animals or left in the field to nourish the precious soil. My goats love to eat pumpkins. They love them just like this cow loves to eat them. Awaiting spring under a wintry blanket. So here's a few that was left in the field to give the dirt more nutrients, and it's waiting for springtime to come back and for new pumpkins to grow. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you have a pumpkin at your house, tell me, what did you do with your pumpkin? Or what are you planning to do with it? Seed, sprout, pumpkin.